Today I am reviewing your model airports. In this video 12 of your self-built miniature airports will be featured, 3 of which will proceed to the grand finale. Comment down below which 2 airports you think deserve a spot in there, and at the end of this video I will pick my grand finalist and distribute the other awards. Let's get started. This is Los Angeles International Airport in the USA, an airport with a runway on both sides and a bunch of aircraft stands in the middle. A nice layout of the airport. I like how he added these tiny pieces of modeling grass around the runway. And the best thing of this airport is the weathering that he added. The fake black coming from the rubber aircraft tires, of course. Very nicely here around the center of the runway. The parked aircraft have ground service vehicles around them, which are, I think, 3D printed. My tip is to add more GSE, look into some cones to place underneath the wingtips and in front of the engines, and like so you can add more realism to an already nice model airport. This is Barar Land International Airport in Norfolk, the UK. The airport consists of a taxiway and terminal. The terminal looks lovely. It's made out of, I think, paper and some black wood, I think, but I'm not sure. I love the letters of your airport name on here. And he's got these nice see-through jet bridges running from the terminal to the aircraft. The aircraft stands look neat. I love the different stop positions that you added to the aircraft stand markings on the ground. I hope you'll be adding modeling grass here on the bottom. Though for the rest you have a lovely model airport. We go to Jacksonville, Florida, where we have Sky Coast International Airport. A model airport for Darren aircraft and a lovely airport with nice scenery. I like the planning of this airport, and everywhere you look there is something interesting to see. Around the terminal he has got his own Aspen Air airline, and it's interesting to see he hasn't built a terminal, but he printed out images of the front of a terminal, stuck them to his wall, and like so he added a terminal. He does have a lovely ATC tower. The ground service vehicles are Lego bricks, which is a great alternative. Talking about the scenery then, I like the space shuttle here, displayed with the country flags and some trucks in the top left. And on the left side of his airport, he's got some nice looking trees, a fence, and in front of the runway he has got some helicopters, a Cessna, some plants, and I like the approach lights that he created using wooden skewers. It is Alba International Airport in Romania, a 1 to 500 scale airport fully built out of paper, including the aircraft models, which of course is a very cost-effective option. He did a lovely job folding the aircraft, and I like the ground service vehicles having the Ryanair branding. The ground and all of the markings are printed as well. I like that he added some taxiway signs on there, though you could have also added modeling grass here. And the last thing are the light poles, which isn't much more than a grey strip of paper, but I like that you added it to the airport. We're going back to the United States where we have East Oahu International Airport in Kahalu. This is a fantastic model airport, situated in what seems to be an aviation room. In the background on the wall, he's got some lovely aviation posters. On the left here he has got marshaller wands, and he has got these flight attendant seats on the wall as well. And taking a closer look, and the rest of the room is just filled with boxes of model aircraft. This might be the biggest collection of 1 to 200 scale aircraft that I've ever seen. Really cool to see. And now let's take a closer look at the airport, as it's fantastic as well. It's one long terminal and aircraft stands around it. He cleverly uses his space, as one aircraft stand can either hold 1 wide-body aircraft or 2 narrow-body aircraft. And taking a closer look at those aircraft, we see actual passengers boarding, a bunch of ground service vehicles, and just in general, a lot of tiny details. Unmissable in the 1 to 200 scale, of course. I really like this model of the ANA Airbus A380 in the blue turtle livery. And from this image you can just see how immensely big this model is. Some interesting details to show are the parked cars here on the right, with some nice trees. And on the top of the terminal he has added a bunch of country flags. Overall we're looking at a fantastic 100% grand finale worthy 1 to 200 scale airport. And it's not only the airport, but it's the whole aviation room, which makes this entry a pleasure to review. This is Lausanne Bellevue International Airport in Switzerland. A 1 to 400 scale airport, very spacious, with a runway, taxiway, a big terminal and a smaller terminal on the top left, with some remote stands in the middle left. The terminal looks cool and I like the grass that he added in the roof. In the dark, this grass lights up, which is really cool to see. And it really adds realism and a nice effect in the dark. I also like the Emirates lineup that you have on your airport with special liveries. I think we have a sports fan right here with the Wimbledon NBA livery and the Summer Olympics Delta aircraft. Once again, a really nice airport to see with a unique terminal design, which looks lovely. This is St. Martin Airport in the Caribbean, with the iconic Maho beach on the left, of course. And he made a nice diorama of it. There is a lot going on at this airport. On the left are some parked aircraft. In the middle he has got modeling grass with grass tufts, a small building and an ILS box. And on the right the runway, of course. I find this an interesting layout with this jet blue here on the left. An aircraft stands surrounded by modeling grass. The view from the beach is nice. The sand looks really realistic. I like the cars that you have driving around here. And the final thing about this airport, you already added some pictures of the island in the background, but try searching for maybe a full background to complete the St. Martin style. We go to Hong Kong where we have Kai Tak International Airport. And from the first glance, we have another really cool, impressive model airport here. It's 1 to 400 scale. He has got a huge terminal, which I think is 3D printed. Parked at the terminal are a bunch of iconic retro, old-fashioned aircraft like the 747s. And on the left he has got a taxiway with a lot more iconic aircraft. Around every parked aircraft is so much ground service equipment, which really adds the extra realism to this airport. I like how there are actual cargo pallets being loaded into the aircraft. He's also added a small part of the runway, and you could add some modeling grass here in the corner. And when we zoom out, we see that the airport is located in a lovely spot in the house. The apartment view in the background, which makes me think that the creator of this airport lives very close to where Kai Tak ever was, because it was of course surrounded by the tall apartment buildings. And when we look below the airport, we see the rest of his collection nicely displayed. Even another terminal here, the Gemini Jets terminal, with some models and ground service equipment. I like the maintenance equipment right here in the bottom, and some other mini airports here below the main airport. Really fantastic to see, 100% grand finale worthy. And once again, a pleasure to review and look at. Moving on, we go to Zurich Airport, which on the first look is a fantastic airport once again. There really is a high quality of airports in this episode. We've got two terminals, a big one and a smaller one on the left, with some taxiways and a runway. The first thing that I noticed is the LED strip here around the terminal, which nicely lights everything up. And I thought he also had an LED strip around the edge of the runway, but these are some red and white pins, which is a fine detail. Also here we have a bunch of ground service equipment driving around the aircraft and a lovely triple jet bridge connected to the A380. This jet bridge is folded out of paper. I like the scenery on the airport with the trees and the colorful red flowers. And when we go to the smaller terminal, we once again see high level of realism with a bunch of ground service vehicles and activity going on. Once again, a fantastic model airport, highly detailed, highly realistic, and a pleasure to review. We go to the UK where we have East Midlands Airport. The airport consists of a runway, taxiways, a single terminal and two remote stands on the top right. And from the top you can very nicely see the curved shapes on his airport. It gives some smooth look to the airport. He really nicely edited this picture of this TUI Boeing 737 coming into land. And he did it another time with this Ryanair 737. What makes this image so cool is that he took his airport outside for the image, and that he also added scenery on his airport in the foreground with the grass tufts, the windsock, a fence and the tree. This once again is a super realistic airport. This image could be real life if you'd ask me. He's done a great job on everything, from the 3D printed ground service equipment to the ground markings to all of the detailing and scenery. Only shame is that the terminal isn't finished yet, and it's just a block of wood at this time. I'm sure if you add a bit more activity on your airport, more aircraft models, some cars on the road and the parking lot, and with more models also more ground service equipment, and a finished terminal, I think you have a 10 out of 10 airport. We go to Vietnam, where we have Hoan International Airport. This is quite a chaotic airport from the top, with a bunch of colors, and I really cannot get a clear overview of the airport. But I do want to show you it, as he added a complete interior to the terminal, with stores, restaurants, a lounge and an aircraft model on display. And the second reason is this crashed airplane, with smoke coming off of it, emergency services to the rescue, and actual people walking around it. Even though it looks really chaotic, you did do a great job on this image with this paper folded aircraft. It's just a great mix of chaos and some structure. And for the final airport of today, we stay in Vietnam and take a look at Hyong International Airport. An airport consisting of a single terminal with aircraft stands and a taxiway around it. And what makes this airport so nice is of course the terminal. It's made out of foam, I think, and of course very nicely lit up. The rest of the airport looks decent. If only you added some more ground service equipment, your airport would look mega realistic. And that brings us to the end of this video. And now it's time to give the rewards. Starting off with my pick to progress to the grand finale is East Oahu International Airport. This 1 to 200 skill airport looks fantastic, but for me it's not only the airport but the whole aviation room around it. With all of the wall art, the incredibly big collection of 1 to 200 skill models, and then of course a lovely and detailed model airport. Congratulations! The award for the best lighting goes to Hyong International Airport for its beautifully lit up terminal. The most realistic award goes to Hong Kong to Kai Tak Airport with an awesome recreation of the iconic Kai Tak Airport. And the most creative award I want to give to Zurich Airport with a lovely, complete looking model airport, some great Swiss elegance. And better late than ever, a big thank you for IMAX Productions for the $5 donation for reaching 50,000 subscribers on the channel. All revenue this channel generates is put directly back in to create more higher quality and fun content. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching to this video. Please consider to like and subscribe. Comment down below which 2 airports you think should progress. And then I will see you in the next video.